recording. If you are brand new, drop it in the chat. Raise your hand. So we have a new sister in the house here in Akana, right? Sitting right in the crowd. She's a blood type A. And what's your name again, my sister? What's your name again? Sakina is her name, and she's like wiping her tears, like, because she just had a chance to see the foods that are toxic to her blood. But the good news, she said everything is toxic. So if you're brand new in our audience, and I'm bending over, you guys got to excuse me, I'm kind of tall. But if you're brand new in our audience, please drop your name in the chat who invited you. Show us so we can show you some love. If you don't know your blood type, please get back with the person who invited you, because it's very important that you know that. So getting right into the meat of what we want to talk about is the problems that's within the United States and what we can do about it. So you guys see what I'm showing on the screen. We have the original diet, and then we have this new microwave fast food gut changing diet, right? And to be honest, it's a silent killer when we look at everything that's happening. Would you believe that 1 in 5 heart attacks are silent? So what does that mean? That means you're walking in the blind, right? You have no clue what's happening. And then finally, when you figure out what's wrong, boom, life hits you, and then life is gone. So we can do something about it as long as we're paying attention to the alarm. 14 to 19 years old, you all, people are showing more than just showing blockage in their arteries, right? And then when you look at ages of people who are 45 and under, yeah, that's what I'm saying, African-American males, why are we dying young? Hold on 1 second. Somebody's unmuted. Hold on 1 second. So there we go, got it. So why are we dying young? What's happening? And I like to point it out. You guys may not agree with me, but the idea is to show you science. I want you to look at the screen right now, and you see a clear artery to the left, but you see a blocked artery to the right. Now, what if you have been eating against your blood type and it causes mucus, fat, and inflammation? Let me say that again. Mucus, fat, and inflammation. That means that something is happening that your blood is trying to fight. My sister got a chance to see her blood actually, what do we call it? Agglutinating, coming together, right? And actually a battle going on because the blood wasn't flowing as smoothly, right? We saw the breaking of blood. Well, what is that? What if that banana that my blood type A sister had been eating all her life is actually starting to now impact her blood cells and then clog her arteries, right? So it says here on the screen that you are 2 times more likely to die from heart disease, and it can be just at the start of your blood. How many of you believe that life and power is in the blood? Now, we don't necessarily want to see blood, right? And a lot of times when we see it, it looks normal. So we don't know what's going on with it, but what if what you're seeing is not the reality of what it is? And then think about what you don't see. So not knowing, you can't really judge yourself by the way you look on the outside, you all. I may have been pregnant with 2 babies when I got married, but I thought I was totally fine. But everybody used to say, well, he's a handsome young man. And I got to kind of agree with him a little bit. But I had no clue. Y'all, I'm a cancer survivor, right? But I had no clue what was actually going on the inside of my body. So what may happen under the surface may not be revealed to the outer surface because we look at ourselves in the mirror every day. So I want to highlight 5 problems, 5 top problems that are impacting our community. Number 1 is not knowing your blood type. Not knowing your blood type. Life is not fair to those who are not aware. Say that with me. Life is not fair to those who are not aware. So, and the thing is how a common cold, right? A summertime cold is so many different things that's happening. And I love the mission that we're on to impact 1 million families understanding and knowing their blood type, or 1 million people. This is our goal for the next 18 months. So how many of the people in this room feels and online feels that just with what I've shared with you, it's important to know? If life is not fair to those who are not here, show me a show of hands and drop it in the chat if we need to be informed. So why not continue to mandate for the next 18 months and inform people of their blood types? You're either a B, a O, or a B. And then when you look at, please feel free to take a picture of this slide, because there's some interesting characteristics that we're learning about these blood types. Now, for years, we've been talking about the zodiac, right? We can't really explain it. But there's something that's interesting with the blood. We had Battle of the Blood Types, amazing, where we separated each team according to their blood type and had a culinary experience. But we actually got a chance, myself, I'm a blood type B, to mingle with the bleeds and build with the Bs and just identify how unique the characteristics are. So because my blood type sister is here, well, she's an A, she didn't know that she was more agrarian, agriculture. What does that mean? That means that fruits, vegetable, plants are her friend. And she said, well, wait a minute, there's more on this list, the plant-based list, than it is on the meat list. But then the O's, man, that smells so good what they cooking in the kitchen. Man, and I can almost bet that, oh, no, it's the A in there cooking, but it smells like she cooking some old food, y'all. Smell like meat is on the stove. And let me tell you, it is a hard thing to digest and understand that you can't have certain things and some people can. One man's food may be another man's poison. And this is why we have to start paying attention to our blood. See, your blood type is the key to your body's entire immune system. It controls the influence of viruses, bacteria, infections, chemicals, stress, and an entire assortment of invaders and conditions that might compromise your whole entire immune system. Minister Mooney, what are you saying? What you eat can be your poison, and it can shut you down at the drop of an eye. And there are testimonies that are in this room that you will hear from that have testimonies like you never know the time or the day, but you can actually be a catalyst to take your life into your own control just by knowing your blood and knowing how food interacts with your cells and take life into your own hands to a certain degree.
They're seeing all your slides. There you go.
Oh, they are? Oh, thank you. Okay, cool. Thank you. So what is going on? What is happening? I believe this, and I've learned this, that when we eat food containing protein lectins that are incompatible with our blood type antigen, the lectins, there's an army of them that comes from this food that's targeting your organs. Now, how many people would have believed that if I ate, let's talk about the A. If I ate a banana, that is something that's in it that's actually looking to kill my organs and compromise my organs. Wow. What about an O? Whoever thought that an avocado for an O and a B are dangerous? An avocado? Y'all broke my heart. And let me dive deep. Crab legs, lobster, shrimp. Y'all, it's not by coincidence that I'm around here cooking plant-based scallops to try to substitute for the things that I used to eat. So we got to be careful of these harmful lectins and these harmful proteins. And let me just break this down. Man, how many people do you know of heard? Let's talk about these superstars, right? Where they have no clue. They're on the basketball court. They look fine. They're on the football field. And all of a sudden, boom, they collapse. Everybody say again, life is not fair to those who are not aware. Is it possible that maybe LeBron James' son didn't know his blood type or didn't know how to eat according to his blood type? Is it possible? All right, it's quite possible. So let me tell you, what the cell is going on? Are we walking around like ticking time bombs and sick because of our blood? It's very, very, very possible. So the consequences of eating according to your blood type is that agglutination, that breaking up of the blood, or that gathering, that army gathering and producing inflammation that can end up being chaos if it keeps happening over and over again. Now, we know certain institutions, when this thing happens, they may bypass the problem or triple bypass the problem. They may stint through the problem. You might as well say, y'all trying to sprint through the problem by giving me a stint, but that's not the case. I think if we take life to a certain degree, understanding that there's life and power in the blood, say that one more time. There is life and power in the blood. And if we understand that, that means that we can take it here on earth in our hands and do something about it. So let me break the chain that we have been compromised by, which is just a generational cycle. Who would have known that a mother who may be a blood type O feeding a child who may be a blood type A and having no clue is compromising their kid? So what is happening here? Maybe we think puberty is just a normal thing when we get acne, or we now find ourselves with, why is a baby bloated and why do we have to take them so early to the hospital and to the doctor to get a checkup? And what's happening? Is it possible that it's just starting with the blood? And is it possible that we clean out our system and we stop taking these harmful toxins that are killing us, that we have found something that can project us and moving into the right direction? Now, I started out, I ain't even get into the fast food. So I ain't even talked about that. And I'm not going to talk about it because I think by now it kind of makes sense. If we can talk about the things that compromise the blood, do you have to realize the things that isn't even created that your body should have, that isn't even identified as coming from the garden? Doesn't that make sense? Okay. So here's a list. I know my sister who right in here now, y'all, I'm not sweating, but she is. She like, oh my God. How many of you, I want you to look at this screen and take a small snapshot. Now, if you get back with the person who invited you, they can show you a whole list, a whole list of food that you should probably avoid. And some of you are looking at, what? You're blood type O and you're looking at an orange? You're a blood type A and you're looking at a potato? Tomatoes? Tomatoes ain't did nothing to nobody. Well, I beg to differ based off of this screen. So eating right for our blood type is not a concept that is new. This book was released in 1996. And I mean, it's something that we should pay attention to. Do your due diligence. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, please do your own research. I challenge you to do so. And then we have to look at who's giving us information. Let's go down a list of some things. Many of you recognize this stuff. There was one saying, it's gonna do us good, right? Smoking cigarettes was supposed to chill you out, be cool, make you relax when they first came out. Got milk. How many of you seen the Got Milk commercials? And that was like, I think Brian Urlacher for the Chicago Bears had a milk commercial too, right? I think I remember that. And it was supposed to be pronounced as healthy. Genetically modified foods, was that supposed to be a help or is it a hindrance? What genetically modified? That don't even sound like that's something I want to eat if it's genetically modified. But neither here nor there, we have said that there is a problem within the United States. So when we look at other countries and we look at Japan and we look at their philosophy and we look at how they eat, it's no coincidence that they are ranked at the top of the food. How can I say this? At the good food, on the good food program. And we are 50th in the United States, just trying to still figure it out. But are we really trying to figure it out? If these are the stats, and over in Japan, they're living to 84 years old. And then we look here, that man, that's more than 10 years of a difference. 71.8. What? That's with African Americans. But when you look at Americans as a whole, and then you even look at how worse it's getting. how bad it's getting. You mean to tell me I'm 51 years old, and when I look at this, that I only have about 20 years? No. If I was you, just like we are deciding to create blue zones in our community, and a blue zone means that we're doing something about it. We have a choice to eat differently, and we have a choice to do our research and find the antidote that's out there that can cause us to live like they're living in Japan and even do better, because the evidence is there and the science don't lie. So let's start by taking life, and I'm gonna say that I'm saying this very loosely because I do believe God guides us in the direction. I believe he put people in our lives to awaken us and to give us good information. And if we get the good, right information, then we have the opportunity to take life into our hands. So if you're there with me, throw your hands up and say, Minister Mooney, I'm making a change in my life. Say it right now. Minister Mooney, I'm making a change in my life by taking life into my hands for what I understand. All right, so you have an understanding, but now that's not the only problem. Oh no, look, A's, please, I didn't mean to do this to show you a banana on the screen. Lord, you can't even have it. But now when you look at this banana, what am I saying? What's happening? Now, this is oxidation. There's something that researchers have pointed out to us, and these are when the body isn't receiving the right type of oxygen, right? And this is my limited understanding. I'm not a medical doctor, but I do praise God for information. So we start looking at our bodies and heart disease and lack of oxidation. We start entertaining cancer and arthritis and pains, and it's because we don't take in enough antioxidants. We don't take in enough green. We don't take in enough beans or nuts and vegetables. So yeah, it still matters about eating about your blood type and eating according to your blood type. But there are plant compounds called phytonutrients, which also have antioxidant abilities that we need to get into our body. And then the third problem, we lack good omegas, right? What do those look like? Well, let me show you this screen right here, right? You see nuts, you see sardines and broccoli and what is that? Mackerel and salmon. And yeah, these are good omegas, the good fat, y'all. We are saturated with the bad fat that responds to inflammation, and it needs to be there. But we lack the good fat. So we're at risk of heart attacks, strokes, high blood pressure, depression, Alzheimer's, diabetes. And you can't say that I'm lying, because there's somebody that you know, and I'm gonna even say recently, where this is their problem. And if they can just make some shifts and changes, and maybe it is inviting into their lives, if they can't find the food, maybe it's a supplement that they can take. It's something out there, you all, that is contributing to our obesity and the metabolic syndrome that we're experiencing, or the weight gain. It's not normal, let me say this very loosely, for a man my age getting married 3 years ago to be pregnant with a baby and married to a wife that's skinny mini. That's not normal, but it is what happened. So there's something that I wasn't paying attention to that weakened my immune system and caused my body to not be in homeostasis. And then taking the risk of actually bone health. So there's so many things that we don't pay attention to. And then we look at our gut. Let's look at our gut. 70% of our immune system is in our gut. If it's 70%, I started out talking about the blood, but if 70% of the immune system is in the gut, and we call this the microbiome area, then what is it that we're missing out? We're missing out on fiber, prebiotics, probiotics, and we don't cleanse. We don't cleanse out the what? The porta potty. I led you on a path from the beginning, and we're only on number 4, all the way to what we're at right now. Could you imagine all of that food that you weren't aware of that's compromising your body? And now, how many ladies know what a porta potty is? I know y'all like that. Look at her face. She like, that's gross. You nasty, Minister Mooney, for even mentioning it. I'm guilty. But the fact is, let me give you this. Let me give you a perspective of what it really is. I have the ability to stand up and use the restroom. Most ladies don't. And that's a porta potty. It's just nasty. You want to clean that. You don't even want to use it. You probably go figure out a way to stand up and use it because you realize that it needs to be clean and it hasn't been clean. If that's the case, you can kind of realize that something in your body needs to come out and it needs to be clean. Does that make sense? And then let me take it to another level. What is this, Minister Mooney? Parasites. Oh, y'all, I can see the look on y'all faces now. Look at Brenda. Look at Brenda. Brenda looking at that, got her glasses on and like, oh my God, you mean to tell me my body has parasites? Let me show you this. I want you all to pay attention for what I'm about to say. If you've ever seen a casket lower in the ground, right? Slow, it's going in the ground, and they seal it real tight. I want to take you there. But let's say they need to do an autopsy and they forgot to do that before they put that carcass in that casket. They have to put on a hazmat suit, open it up, and what do they see? They see maggots, they see parasites. Well, how did it get into a sealed stone casket? It was already there. Those parasites was already there. They didn't just creep in through the concrete. No. It was sealed tight, and it's thick, and it's heavy. Y'all kind of get what I'm saying? So we die with parasites still in us. Now, I want you to really imagine this, that those parasites can end up in your area of your gut, your brain, and every part of your body, even while you're living. I think I've said enough. Because if you got a squint on your face, then you know that chronic infections, and here it is, it says on the screen that there are autopsy findings. So when they do finally do an autopsy, they're finding organs compromised and brain, liver, lungs, all different types of stuff. All right. By now, you know, I'm not going to make any medical claims to treat, diagnose, cure, or mitigate any disease. But I'm telling you, there's something you can do about it. There's something that we have that targets every single thing that I just talked about. And we call it the fuel. I like to call it another chance. I like to call it something you can put in your moving car that you are moving around in now and do something about it. We call it the fuel. And it tastes real good, y'all. It's kind of chocolatey. I've started using the fuel. And honestly, it's amazing because I could use this as fast as my life goes. I'm still here. My wife is in the back with my son, and they got this food smelling good that are probably against my blood type. So I would actually have 2 of these a day with 1 meal, and boom, and especially while I'm detoxing, I could still have this, and it is clean, fueling fun, and it's my meal for the twice a day. How would you like to understand that what I share with you, who all out here would like to try the fuel? Now, I could be a good salesperson, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to save lives. Y'all heard me say, I'm going to say it this way. You heard me say I'm a cancer survivor, right? I would not, and I just don't like seeing this, that if I went through chemotherapy and radiation to the brain, chemotherapy for the body, radiation to the brain to kill everything. Because the same problems that I just talked about, by chance, well, this is what chemotherapy and radiation does, but in their world. So when you look at our vision and when you look at what I'm sharing and you look at what I offer as something that can help, where is our goal, you all? Our vision is a world where individuals have access to nutrition and resources they need to thrive, leading to a healthier and a wealthier and a more resilient community. So I'm just trying to inspire you and trying to be a catalyst for your lives to change. And if we can build a community, right, where it's limited in disease and limited in poverty, then I believe that we're on the right track. So if you agree with me, join us in building a blue zone. Only 6 areas around the world, you all, is not good. And they're not even in the well, one is in the United States. So why not build a blue zone? We're here in Bronzeville. You're probably in Atlanta or in California or in Virginia. Why not take ownership? Why not take Dominion Pound Authority and say, you know what? I think Akana has it right. I know the young lady who's here. I know she might be feeling a little certain type of way, but she has a resolve if she chooses to take it. So cleaning out your body is what you see. This is a 4-day detox, right? You can actually work on some of those things that we talked. It's a start. It's like taking the first step. Now, as you see on the bottom of the screen, sometimes things are actually a little more deeper than some of the things that I just discussed. And you may consider doing a 7-day or a 21-day, and we can talk to you about that. But this right here, I think, is a game changer. 40 ounces, boiling this bag, it's a tea bag in there. It don't taste too good, but it does the job. And then to be able to control your appetite, and you go see some stuff when you go to the bathroom, and it ain't gonna be pretty. And then she had a chance to actually see this list that you're seeing here, the good, the bad, the ugly, right? We call it the positive food list, the good list, your medicine list, right? So that comes as a free download. And then we have starter packs where this stuff is included. Now, she already knows her blood type, right? But she can actually start with kit number 2, which includes all of what we've just talked about to help you get to that level that you need to get to and get you started. And it comes with, we do offer, because you need to know, she didn't have a bio scan, but I believe that some of you already know what the problem is. We want to make sure, so we invite you also, we have a comprehensive health screening, right? That we can do it later, but it comes with the package that I'm about to show you now. And it's a special that we have, but I like to show you this right here. For $109, you can get started with everything that I talked about, as well as a big bag of that fuel, because the sample pack gets you through 4 days that's in that kit, but 4 days is not the end of your journey. And the way that I eat, I'm telling you, I needed it for the whole month to keep going. So we have a special happening right now that you learned your blood type and you want to keep going. And we want to offer you that your vehicle, the fuel that you need to get through the month. And then why not put it on auto ship? Why not say, you know what, Minister Mooney, I get what you're saying and I need help. Would you help me for the next 3 months? So this is what we have to offer. We have other things that we do. You know, maybe you have knee pain, back pain. Maybe you're dealing with alopecia. Maybe you're dealing with sciatic nerve damage, rheumatoid arthritis. We don't make any medical claims, but we do have exactly what you need. And if you're that person that says, you know what, I like what you're doing, Minister Mooney, and I like how you're sharing. Well, we have something else for you because we are on a mandate. We have a mission. If I could stand in the church, you all, and I can preach to thousands, and if I can impact a community based off of my voice, we have a system. I love the fact that we have a simple system that we can share it, like the videos and the presentation. You can take a copy of this presentation and let somebody hear it, and we can impact a very large part of the world. So if that's you, get back with the person who invited you, and welcome to a new lifestyle. We call it the flat belly lifestyle. We call it Akana. Love you all. Have a great night.
So, am I gonna do the thing?
Yes, ma'am. All right. Any questions in the room? Any questions online? All right. Any questions? No, you good? You see yourself getting started soon? Anybody online, you see yourself getting started soon? Yeah, ready to get started today? Okay. So you have, if you don't mind, I'm gonna give you my information and you can reach out to me, or you know how to get in contact with us. So you already know your blood type. That card is for you to take. All right.
It's like a screen or something.
A bio scan. Yep. So if you wanted to get that done today, we can do that. Yep. Cool. So give me about, we're gonna take a 5-minute break, you all, and come back. Next session, we're actually gonna get started with the training. So for those who are distributors, please hang around. That concludes the first part of our session. The next part, we're gonna train, we're gonna hear from Margaret Dorsey. She's gonna train on what do you do from here on out, right? What are the steps that you need to take? You already have the placard cards, you already have the square cards, right, that you already ordered, but how do you utilize that system? How do you go step by step and offer exposure with the tools that we have? So be right back, you all.
She has this literally has come through at every possible opportunity, the best way possible.
And there we go.
Can I get this recorded? Is there- This isn't yours?
Yeah, but I'm looking at it from a different perspective.
Oh, okay. Hey, everybody. We are very excited to have you with us. Okay, we're excited to have you guys with us tonight. So what happened in this room is that they're doing everything. So what I'm doing is the plugger training because it's a strategy that's actually going to take our business to the next level. There's information that you're going to get. I am Margaret Dorsey. I am a Ruby with the company, and first and foremost, I'm a distributor. And so that's what I say in terms of if we're looking at this business, if we're looking at this company, if we're looking at the blood type eating, I want you to understand that it is a business. We do have some goals, and then I want to share with you in particular what we're doing with the pluggers that we have created. So what I'm going to do is figure this out because I don't really do this on a regular basis. So there you go. All right. So this is what I want to share. What I want to share with you tonight is already on the app. So if you are a distributor, you have the app. And if you go under the recordings, there is an 8.5-minute recording of everything that I would have said tonight. I am not going to do every slide tonight because it's already set up for you on the app that you can get. So what I am going to do is highlight the differences of what has happened since that recording, which was on September 5th. I think that was the first time we had a meeting in the room, and then we had a presentation because on September 1st, Melissa opened up what the blood type concept was and that we were going to start our campaign. So when we first designed this app, we put together, when we first designed the plugger, we put together the plugger that you see on the screen. So we answered all of the questions. I'm going to go to the next one, to the back. So what happens with the plugger is that the strategy that I want to share with you guys is how to take the plugger and personalize it on the back with your information. So where it says contact me back there, now there is a product that's called an Avery label. It's a letter label that you can fill in with your specific information. If you don't have access to a printer, you can't make Avery labels, then go to Staples, go to Office Max, and have them help you to create the number of labels that you need on your for your plugger. What I'm excited about is that the information that you're going to go and listen to, that you're going to go and look at. What is it that you want me to say? Okay, that you're going to go and listen to. It also has a PDF. On that PDF, I share with you strategies to use with your plugger. So when you have your plugger, these are nice and pretty, but you don't want to own them. You don't want to sit on them. You don't want to have them around your house. What you want to do is to be able to take them out in certain amounts and go and put them in locations that people can grab them and make use of them on behalf of their own blood type information, and actually getting on your website and learning how to get more information and to purchase the products that we're selling. So what I'm doing now is just an overview because there's a couple of important points that I want distributors to know. If you're new on the Zoom for the first time, please think about joining us as distributors because this is a process that we're using to make money. We actually to help people learn fast and to go next. So what we did in the process, we created the first plugger. So I'm going to hold it up if you guys can kind of see. You see it's on the screen. I do not have a picture of the second plugger that we created on that is available for distributors to purchase on the website. And so what happened is things are going to change, they're going to advance, they're going to get better. If you look at the original plugger or the first plugger, because I think both of these pluggers are going to be available to us, on the bottom, it sends people to flatbellyebook.com. And then that is one way that people can get the free ebook and learn some about the grocery list and that kind of thing. When you get the second, if you purchase the second plugger that we have created, it sends people to a different website. It actually sends them to knowyourbloodtype.com. And so what that is how people get their digital kit, their digital download, but also it links them then to the ebook, to the free ebook. So as distributors, this is the homework, this is the work that we need to do in order to see how effective our pluggers will be for us. When one of the things that happens on the plugger is that you need to have some talking points. When I see people and I give them my plugger, one of the things I might point out the ingredients in the fuel or the significance of the fuel. Or I might go over to, do you know your blood type? Oh, you're an O. Did you know that that oranges aren't good for you? Or you're A? Aren't these simple things that people would like to know? So what you want to do is get proficient at using your blood type. And I'm using your plugger and getting your pluggers situated in places where you can go back, create a relationship, and people begin to know that this is a person, this is going to be using this space to get the word out. Not only that, I went across the street right here to the LA Fitness. They have a juice bar there. That's one of the locations that I leave my pluggers, but I do it on a periodic basis. Listen to the information on the on your app, and it'll tell you how to do that. But then I met the owner this week, and and now I'm piquing her, which is to say, asking her, does she know her blood type? Can we leave the pluggers here? And then that relationship got started. This is all a science to it, guys. And I just want to say, it wasn't like I was going to take you, I'm not going to take you through everything that is already recorded on the app, because as distributors, there's work that we should be doing. You're not going to be spoon-fed everything. You're not going to be told everything just like every time. But what I like about is making these recordings so that you can go back and get them. One of the things that I do want to say is that once you get your pluggers created, don't leave home without them. Make sure you have them. You'd be surprised at the number of times that you'll just be passing somebody. And my neighbor, we walked out the door together today, and I asked her, she was limping or something. She said, "Oh, girl." And I said, well, you know what? My company is starting a whole new campaign about helping people know their blood type. Do you know your blood type? She was a blood type O, which is, I'm a blood type O. So I started a conversation with her. I didn't hit her with a plugger at the moment. My hands were full, but that would have been another time to use. So that's how you effectively use your plugger. The other thing that we should do as distributors is make sure that we are on the Thursday training, the Thursday blood type Zoom that we had tonight, the Saturday morning blood type Zoom that we have Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, and then the Sunday at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. Why? We need to build a community, guys. We need to have people, and what we're doing now is we've streamlined our presentation where it's the same information that's going across the board. One of the, Mooney had mentioned in his talk earlier about the 109 package, in that you can get your bioscan, you can get the new fuel But what we also want to have you guys understand is that when people get that starter kit 1 and they get that starter kit 2, and then you show them how to get the auto ship, that's business. And so you can duplicate that very easily. And when you listen at the recording, it tells you to put on there at the top of your label, create a customer account and to shop. And then you put your name or your website there so that people can go there. If our customers don't create a account, you won't get credit for that purchase. And can you imagine putting all these pluggers out, people picking them up anywhere around the country, and all they have to do is go on there and insert that information, but guess what? They have to create accounts. So we're training them too while we're handing out our pluggers. So this is just a quick overview. Everything got a little bit scrambled today, but what I like, if you go back and look at the 8-minute video under recordings, and if you go under resources and look under the PDF page that I created, everything I'm saying is there. I believe in duplicating exactly as something should be done. So there you go. If you go, each of you use that sheet. And if you look at that video, you're going to have this information. And then I want to check, well, how many pluggers did you purchase? How many of y'all got y'all labels on your pluggers? And then what is your process? Where have you been taking your pluggers? And what has been some of your results? So with that, I want to, I don't know how to do the question and answer thing, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say good night, unless there was something else that that I kind of was going to be doing tonight. Mooney, we're done, right?
Yep.
So guys, we appreciate you. You guys know where to find me. So reach out to me if you need my information. There's someone who knows me that can get you in contact with me. I was going to put it on the screen. But at this time, we want to say good night and thank all of you for participating with the plugger training tonight. Mooney's going to come and turn this off. Mooney, you want to turn this off?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Let me give you an overview. Right. This is basic, this is it's just like when I like the presentation, so succinct. And then it just goes straight across. The only difference is we got 2 pluggers now, and so people might not know that there's a difference. Because when we came out the gate, that was the one that we put together, and then Melissa, they sold so fast. And she still into a graphic designer.
Yeah,
Right.
it was.
Right. So now
Is the training over?
Yeah, it is. I was trying to get him to come and it was over.
Have a great night, everyone.
Yeah, I was. I didn't know what else to do. Yeah.